Burnt ends aren't just a dish. They're a story in every bite. Sweet, smoky, tender, with that sticky caramelized bark. They're the candy of the barbecue world. Today, I'm taking you step by step through making them the traditional way, using the brisket point on a charcoal grill. We start with the brisket point, about 5 to 6 pounds. This is where the magic happens. Rich marbling and deep beef flavor. I trim the excess fat, but I leave a 1/4-inch cap. That layer renders slowly and bastes the meat from the inside. For seasoning, I keep it classic. Equal parts salt and pepper, garlic powder, and paprika. It's simple, but it lets the smoke and the meat shine. I apply a generous coat, making sure to hit every surface, every edge, because the bark you build now will be the crust you bite into later. I wrap it in plastic and let it sit in the fridge for at least 4 hours. Overnight, if I can, to let the flavors settle in. Next, the grill. I set up a classic 2-zone fire. Coals piled on one side, nothing on the other, with a drip pan of water under the cool side. This setup is how you smoke on a charcoal grill without burning the meat. I light my coals in a chimney starter, about half full, and once they're ashed over, I add oak chunks. I use the bbqdaddycharcoal.com PitMaster blend. Oak gives that deep, honest smoke that brisket loves. Hickory works too. Cherry if you want a touch of sweetness. Now, temperature control is where most people mess up. I dial in the vents to keep the grill steady at 225 to 250 degrees Fahrenheit. Thin, blue smoke means you're doing it right. Thick white smoke means your wood isn't burning cleanly, and that can turn the meat bitter. The brisket goes on fat side up over the indirect side. I close the lid and let the smoke work. After 2 hours, I start spritzing every hour with beef broth. This keeps the bark from drying out and adds a layer of flavor. I smoke until the internal temp hits 165 to 170 degrees. This is where the bark is set. The color is deep, and the meat is ready for the wrap. I wrap in butcher paper, not foil, because it locks in moisture without steaming the bark. Back on the grill, still indirect, I push it to 195 to 203 degrees internal. Here's the secret. I don't go by temp alone. I go by feel. When a probe slides in like it's going through warm butter, it's done. Now the burnt ends magic happens. I let the brisket rest in a cooler for an hour, still wrapped. Then I cube it into 1-inch bites, toss them in sweet Kansas City-style sauce, and for extra richness I sometimes add butter, brown sugar, and honey. These cubes go into a pan and back on the grill at 250 to 275 degrees for another hour. I stir them every 20 to 30 minutes until they're sticky, shiny, and have that perfect bark. The first bite tells you everything. Smoke, sweet, salt, fat, and that crunch from the bark. That's burnt ends done right. They take time, they take patience. But once you taste them, you'll understand why pitmasters treat them like treasure.